my goodness, we're having an absolute downpour. Look at this. We're in a cloud. And the wind is up. Oh my goodness, this is like, reminds me of the last one we had. I'm going to shut the door because it's blowing in. Look at it. Trees are really going. Yikes. Trouble is through the glass is a bit dirty. Look at it. It's hailing now. And it's coming in. But not good at all. Look at the water. Oh my lord. So, it's 10 minutes later. The changeable weather of Haute-Vienne.
Our move to France came earlier than anticipated when this little house in the Limousin stole our hearts. We'd love you to continue to follow us, Joe and Steve Harris, and our two rather naughty dogs, Morse and Bright, on our incredible adventure to renovate our new home and attempt to integrate into French society. Bon courage! On a rather grim morning, my intrepid friend Lesa and I set off for Jardiland, an enormous garden centre on the edge of Limoges. I think I brought you here one Christmas. I think Lesa and I would be the first to admit that neither of us are terribly good at keeping flora alive, so we wanted to have a look at some hanging plants, both real and fake, and to obtain some frou-fru for our respective bathrooms.
Shopping time, Joe. Oh no, I'm just about to run someone over. See? People walk behind you when you're reversing.
Armed with a trolley and ready to shop.
I quite like these, but I think the only thing with it, it's a little bit like my hair first thing in the morning. Just need to put a picture of my face there and that'll be me. It gives you ideas though, because look, that's just a little box of branches.
Yeah.
I mean, that's it's €3, but that's a box of branches. I mean, you've got, how many branches have you got? 6 million.
Yeah.
But that's such a nice idea because you can just cut them up and then put them around. They're really
That's the
pretty.
thing as well. Anyone could just go foraging.
Yeah.
Oh.
So, well, there's that one.
What's an air? I'm going, but I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, they don't need soil or
really?
water or anything. They're just
That's perfect for
probably
me.
Not true. I don't know. But they just.
Oh wow.
But that's really unusual, isn't it? I really like
that. Really is unusual. How much is it?
€35.
Well, that's
Not
not
too
bad.
bad.
No.
And it's like, this is bamboo, I think. The old bamboo. Yeah, it's quite nice because I'm looking for something to go in the bathroom to hold the toothbrushes that hides them.
Oh yeah.
And I think that's quite nice.
That's a
On
good
my new
idea.
table. Don't know. So, bit of greenery. Just a bit of greenery. But yeah, looks really good. Very excited to see what this is going to look like.
Yeah. And lots of ideas as well. I think that's the best thing, isn't
Yeah.
it?
Oh, no, hang on. Do you want to kill the ivy?
It's not just what you buy, it's the ideas that you get from going to these places, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think we've picked up some really good ideas, actually.
I think so, yeah.
And especially with those terracotta pots.
Yes, I think that's a really good idea. Yeah. Alrighty.
Okay, so we're now, next stop, Family Village in Limoges. I really like Family Village because you've got down here DIY shops, home shops, absolutely everything. And a few cafes, so maybe we're going to have a bit of lunch. Right.
Yes.
Let's
Let's
go take a
go.
walk.
This is a glorious shop called Casa. You can lose yourself in it quite easily. It's jam-packed full of household gorgeousness. Just look at it all.
This glass at home. Oh, there's a lot of
I
it.
think like in a kitchen, just all different jars with lots of different, with your spices in.
Yeah,
And
it's so nice. And just on the mantelpiece,
Yeah.
just sitting there. And that's so pretty, isn't it? So, carload of stuff. Da 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 da. And it's home, James, for some lunch.
So successful shopping trip.
Very successful.
It's quite nice actually just to have a look and get some really good ideas, and I think we've got some. So it's now time to go home and look at what we got.
Exciting! So these are the rather exciting things we bought from the shop. All done up in beautiful brown paper. It's very exciting. So these are just a bit more foliage, but they're actually really very realistic looking. And I mean, I've got loads, but I just thought, you know, why not? So I've got a couple of those. So let's see what else I got. I couldn't resist, I have to say, I just couldn't resist. Those gorgeous little jars. Look, isn't that sweet? I love green glass, and gosh, that's beautiful. Put that there. And then there was another one. Slightly different shape. But isn't that gorgeous? And I just think them having those sitting round just on a shelf. I think they're going to go in the bathroom, but not absolutely sure. And I did actually buy these as well. I've already unwrapped those. So I've got a couple of these with the little cork stoppers in, which are so cute. And I just thought they're going to look so beautiful just sat on the shelf. And with perhaps I could even put a little bit of a light in it, or behind them, which I think might look quite good. So this, I couldn't resist this. You may have seen in the film, I had this in my arms. And just the most beautiful jug. Look at that. It's so lovely. It's really beautiful glaze on it. It's glaze at the top and left bare at the bottom. Just a gorgeous shape. But I was actually thinking, just on the windowsill upstairs, you know, that would look nice. So it's déchetterie time. Our local rubbish is picked up by dustmen as normal, but sort of all paper and cardboard and that sort of thing all has to go to the déchetterie, which I think we've shown you before actually, but I don't think very well, so we'll do that.
So it's off to the déchetterie we go. I can never say that word. It's only about 10 minutes away, in a village called Meillac-sur-Bernaise, where our good friends Pete and Debbie live. It's actually part of our favourite brocante maximums that I think we've mentioned before. I guess it is quite similar to the recycling centre we used to frequent in Oxfordshire, but I seem to remember that that one was always so busy and the staff not very accommodating. Only one vehicle at a time is allowed on the ramp, but I don't think we've ever had to wait for long. It's quite a high platform, so when it's windy, things do tend to blow around and get a bit out of hand. There are containers for all sorts of different things, from wood to plasterboard, and they will even take items from you to sell in the shop. The employees there are always friendly and very helpful. I seem to remember that we had to obtain a card to be able to use their facilities. I think it was one of the first things we got when we moved here, but it is a really good and beneficial service. So at this point we thought, this is a bit like a day in the life of Joe and Steve. So where shall we go next? To the shops! When we first came to look at the house, we stayed in a village called Saint-Martin-le-Mont, which is about 5 minutes from home. We chose La Souterraine to do our grocery shopping then, and we have been loyal ever since. Luckily, most main supermarkets stay open all day and don't close between 12 and 2 like a lot of other businesses. I do think that holidaymakers, who may rise a little later than normal whilst vacationing, file those closures a little frustrating. But once you live here, it just becomes the normal way of life. I think it's wonderful and typically revolutionary that lunchtime is taken so seriously. The French certainly know how to juggle work and play, with the emphasis on relaxation. Our shop of choice is Leclerc. It's absolutely huge and sells just about everything you could need. Gone are the days of the hustle and bustle of English supermarkets, the long queues at checkout, especially at Christmas, but here in rural Haute-Vienne there is hardly anyone around, and shopping has become a pleasure. The clothing is amazing, and most items are of super quality. I love the kitchen items too. We always make sure we keep plenty of stock of favourites, but I have found that fresh veg and salads don't quite last as long as I'm used to. So market shopping is essential, just to keep up with fresh produce, as well as the absolute pleasure it is to visit local places and support local farmers. So on the way home, the next stop is the Eco Point, where we recycle smaller items like glass and cardboard.
So this is the other part of the recycling we have to do, which is glass and cardboard comes here to this little plot. It's been very full recently, I have to say, probably after Christmas. Lots of people around, but I love just watching Steve do it. It's great.
Right, so today is kindling day. Generally sort of once a week or so. Chop up kindling and fill the kindling bin, ready for the coming fire lighting week. And I've been using these, which we've stored right in the far corner of the mezzanine up there. And they are actually, in the UK you'd call them faggots. It's like lath and plaster but for floors. So if you imagine there'd be a big joist here and a big joist there and then a big joist there. So this is what came out of the floor. You would have seen in a very early video, a early vlog, of Ted and I demolishing the floor on the first floor. And this construction was there all tightly packed together over the tops of the beams. And then they just piled soil, and this had about 8 inches of soil on top of it. So that's why we pulled out so many tons of soil out of the floor. But we couldn't just smash it through easily. We had to lever and we've got thousands and thousands and thousands of them. And if the deeds to the house are right, these were put in about 1800, maybe 1805. So it's bone dry because it's 300 years old. So it makes great kindling. So that's what I'm going to do now, and this is the process with safety glasses on.
So there we are, a day in the life. I hope you enjoyed it. During the winter, the fire gets lit at about 4 o'clock, and that gives us the signal that it's a slow retreat to the end of the day. Before the roof and ceiling were done, the kitchen was the warmest room in the house, but now the whole place becomes warm and toasty once the fires get going. So on to a few questions that some of our lovely subscribers have asked. Narida asked if we mixed the Harris green paint ourselves, and the answer is yes. We took a piece of timber from the kitchen and went to a shop called B&Q in the UK. They have an incredible machine that copies the colour. I'm so glad you like it. Sarah Knight suggested that we changed our name to Of France and England, We Smashed It. That made us both laugh, but thank you for the compliment. And finally, Anne Forster asked about the house next door and who lives there. Well, at the moment, no one. We have tried to get in contact with the owner via the Marie, but to no avail. So we are clearing the garden and hopefully stopping the climbing plants getting in. So keep subscribing and resubscribing and keep those wonderful comments coming. We are so grateful. A bientôt!